So, welcome to Intro to Leash Walking, adding a leash. Magma is going to be our demo puppy today, and she is a 9.5-week-old Australian Shepherd. This is the first time she's had a leash attached. So, she did pretty good right there, and then she stepped on it. Totally common. So, I'm going to reward that so she doesn't get too nervous. And then we're going to do a little bit of name game. So, I'm going to call her name and click, and hopefully she's going to get the idea that she's supposed to move. So my goal right now is just to get her moving a little bit with the leash on. Now I say her name here, but she's sniffing. So that was not the ideal thing to do. Should have waited until she wasn't as focused on that sniff. And you see now she's orienting back to me. Good. So that's what we want her to be doing. She realizes that I have food and that we're starting a training session. That time I didn't even say her name. She just checked in. So then I'm going to start moving around just a little bit. And I'm going to talk to her and tell her she can come. She's still not sure. She's standing on her leash. I'm just going to kind of walk away. Oh, there she goes. And she comes. She gets a click. And she gets a treat. And I'm going to walk down the sidewalk. And she's going to come. And she's going to get clicked for moving and get her treat. And good, we've got her moving now. So once I see her start to move well, I'm going to click and treat. So she's less worried now about the fact that that leash is attached to her collar. And I'm not pushing it too far as as her going up and down, the sidewalk. I don't need her to take, 20 steps. 3 or 4 is plenty. I just want her to be dragging that leash and not worrying about it. So good, now we've got a little bit of a follow going. So when I see her coming with me, I'm going to click and treat. She says, hello everybody. Little name call gets her refocused. Now I am making sure to click before she gets past me. Because when I walk my dogs, ideally, they're not dragging ahead. So I am attempting to mark and reinforce when she is behind me or beside me. Just so she has good reinforcement history. I don't care what side she's on. Left or right, doesn't matter. We're just practicing walking. This is not healing. I'm also out in front of my house. I do not live on a very busy road. If I did, I would not be doing this out there without a fence. It's also not very distracting because there's not much traffic. If you live in a more distracting environment, then I would suggest doing this somewhere less distracting or during a least distracting time of the day. So now she's trotting right along. Oh, got a little distracted, but yet she came when I clicked.
Nice job, puppy.
And we're going to end on that because she's looking much more confident with the leash attached to her. Hi, a couple things that I didn't get to mention in the video. First is that Magma has done this same exercise before, just without the leash attached. So she's done it completely off leash. And she's been doing that for a week or so, just so she gets the idea that following me is a good thing. The second thing to keep in mind is that she's 9.5 weeks old, and she's not going to be going for any long walks anytime soon. She doesn't have the attention span or the energy to go that far that long. So for the next few months, we're just going to work on short little walks, short training sessions to get her comfortable with being on the leash, and to teach her that the leash isn't this scary, restrictive thing that's trying to ruin her life and keep her from doing all the fun things that she wants to do. So we want to have a good history of her being comfortable on the leash before we try to go for long walks. If we try to go for walks right now, before she's ready, she's going to do things like sit and refuse to come along. She's probably going to attack the leash and bite it and tug on it because she just can't focus on actually walking nicely for that length of time. So I'm not going to push her, and I'm not going to expect her to do that until she's more mentally mature and ready to do that behavior. So that's the beginning of Magma's leash walking, and I'm sure there will be more videos to come as she progresses through her leash walking journey.